Hello, Netlify Compose. It's so good to see you all and be here. As you may have heard, my name is Kerrigan Barron. I'm Senior Technical Director at Carta, specifically working in Mock and Composable.
Yeah, and I'm Tyler Barnard. I'm the Director of Product Management in Digital Experiences, managing the websites for corporate architecture, and I've moved over into product to help integrate our mock architecture into even more, and we'll go into that later.
Hey there, Ayla Peacock. I look after go-to-market strategy for Composable and Mock at Carta. It's a long title, but it's better than head of headless, which was the alternative. I'm 5'3". How tall are you?
I'm 6'6", and I'm trying not to stand
I'll
off the
just
back of the
step
stage,
forward
but
then. Kerrigan, come with me. All right, to kick things off, Tyler, tell us about Trimble.
Yeah, so Trimble is a global technology company. We take on some of the world's biggest challenges. We do this through connecting both physical and digital worlds, really to help our customers unlock a better, faster, safer, and greener future. We work in many industries. These are 4 of the industries that we serve. And we do this to empower customers to improve how we live, how we eat, and how we move for a better quality of life and a better future. And one of the things I'm most proud of Trimble for is that we're really working at sustainability with our customers through the efficiencies that we provide through the technology and innovation to provide that better tomorrow.
Carta is a global digital transformation consultancy. Our services span from data to cloud to any experience that touches the user. We provide consulting services for the enterprise. And perhaps more importantly, we are a B Corp, the first to be publicly traded on the London Stock Exchange. B Corp doesn't mean B team, we're the A team. B Corp stands for Benefit Corporation. That means that we're held to sustainability, diversity, equity, inclusion standards that align with the sustainability work Trimble's doing. For our clients, it means that we attract talent like Kerrigan Barron, who want to work at a firm with a heart and work on cool projects like this one with Trimble. Trimble came to Carta somewhere between 3 and 100 years ago. It's impossible to know with the COVID break in the middle. Tyler used this to describe his web issues. They make around 100 acquisitions in the last 10 years, and Trimble had what Tyler called a black market of websites. No consistent brand, no consistent experience for users across websites, no way to track analytics at scale. Mock wasn't a big part of the conversation. When Trimble came to Carta, they were using disparate monolith systems. In particular, Drupal was one point of discussion. And we introduced a Mock philosophy to Trimble together, Carta alongside Tyler. Will you tell us more about the project?
Yeah, absolutely. We had, like, as Ayla mentioned, many disparate companies who would come in through either acquisition or through various industries. And so I had a vision of connecting these from a customer experience standpoint. Didn't know anything about Mock at the time, but the vision really melded with the Mock principles, and we started to work on building a scalable platform that would achieve customer consistency across all of our industries, which was an important part of the scope.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the biggest things there is that not only is it a marketing experience platform that Tyler was talking about ultimately, but a scaling platform, something that can grow, that can become more than what it was. And for that, we actually have a little bit of a backstory on this.
There's a technical challenge here to discuss, of course, but the cultural one is perhaps more complicated, and we find with many of our clients going through a Mock transformation that they need a little bit of hand-holding. This is real footage, actual footage of an email Tyler sent me in, what does that say, 2020? Can you read the subject line?
Yes, I was a bit nervous. ...
He says. And I'll read the rest. Hey, team, I'm getting the 2 a.m. worries about our roadmap. We only have a few working weeks in December, and we need to settle our direction. I'm getting a lot of pushback on the idea of moving away from Drupal. Can anyone relate to this? Mostly fear-based around not understanding what Contentful really is, how much it costs, what our developers would be doing once it's developed. This is normal. Like, mock is a big move for the C-suite. It takes time to chip away at them. And what I've found is that we do need one hero, and we're here to make our clients the hero. Da 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 da! We worked with Tyler to take down the monolith. We introduced Contentful, we introduced Netlify, and we helped tell a story to the larger Trimble organization about what mock could do. Can you tell us more about how you brought down the monolith?
Yeah, it's much more noble than it looks. I think it was really about convincing a lot of folks, both the developers on the team as well as upper management, of where we were going, what these principles of Composable meant, building in capabilities as opposed to just investing in just vendor suites. So it took a lot of challenge there, but I think ultimately it's the right principles, and I think once you prove it out, it really it does scale.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the biggest things was that when Tyler brought us on, agencies have a whole different view of how everything connects in. So
some of the scary parts about taking on a mock transformation are the multiple vendors you need to sign. A lot of C-suites say they want one throat to choke. An agency like Kin + Carta can be the one throat, can chart the waters with our clients. What I found is it usually is one person who's making this case for a mock transformation. Maybe it's a handful of people, but it's grassroots, it's from the bottom up, and it can take years. If you're that person, we would like to work alongside you and maybe get on a white horse together.
Yes, yes. So one of the biggest things when we're talking about an agency helping an enterprise actually change their direction, like Tyler did, is that our business is your business. Specifically, everything that we bring to the table is expertise, knowledge, all of the capabilities that we've done before. We've done this, we know this. But the biggest part of this is not only have we done this, but we are integrating and collaborating with you and your teams. Enterprise clients get a benefit of working interlocked with our experts to be able to actually have a knowledge transfer, have that knowledge, so by the end of the project, you're able to pick up and scale yourself alongside of us. So that's one of the biggest wins here. And, as Tyler mentioned here, it's very much an interesting journey that requires a little bit of trust. And when we started this journey, it was actually just a discovery, something that was small, a small engagement that was mainly looking at Drupal. Is it the right technology? How does that work? Tyler, can you talk to us a little bit about the scale we were facing?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we're going across 4 different industries. We needed consistency in brand, and I actually had worked alongside the brand team very closely. So building out that system was something I was very interested in building out to the websites. But when you take away that control, and by building a platform, an ecosystem of scalable websites, you still need to be able to let the businesses in those industries talk to their customers in the unique ways that they need to. So we need something both scalable and flexible at the same time.
Absolutely. And I think you did a good job of jumping in and focusing on the customer experience. When you're talking about cross these verticals and these different pieces of the business, you have to focus first on the customer journey. How is all of this connected? How is that experience going to go? Mainly because this is flipping the script in a lot of ways of how people actually try and figure this out. They're like, let me find my vendors. Let me find my technologies first. We need to take a step back from that and focus instead on the customer journey.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest things we needed help with was getting the mindset shift from, hey, this is my Drupal site, or this is my vendor that I'm tied to, as opposed to looking at the larger customer experience, the outside-in vision, which then allows the sites to completely transform what they're doing at the end of the day, instead of being that outside-in or inside-out view.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the biggest pieces here was we looked at the customer journey and the ideal journey and then figured out what is going to make that happen. And part of what we did was actually focus on a global design system that would allow us to have different capabilities and that composable approach that brings us to a more sustainable, faster, and efficient system overall. So one of the biggest things when we're talking about a composable global design system is that we need to avoid boiling the ocean. Because we just talked about you need to have that customer journey, but you need to have an MVP. So the biggest thing here, when we're thinking about how agencies bring an enterprise along, is the focus on how are we going to have a high ROI product that we can launch and make sure is winning at scale. So even though we define that ideal customer journey, we identify and slim that down to what makes sense for MVP. What do we need to do to bring it down to something that is a set blocks from the get-go? And for us, that was actually focusing on Trimble.com. Isn't that right, Tyler?
Yeah, so it was a great example of, there was a lot of fear in the organization. What is this new platform? We're putting a lot of money into kind of reinventing everything that we had known. So not only building the platform, but it was great to have an MVP approach to get Trimble.com out the door, show what the platform could do, and then know that we had built it for scale so that then we could then immediately pivot into the next sites.
Absolutely. So once you've actually got your pieces, your components, the colors, blocks, that will build that MVP experience, that's where you're building the factory. You've built the factory, you've got it. You've got that MVP capability, and now you're able to scale. You're scaling efficiently, you're scaling effectively. You're able to actually use wonderful partners like Netlify to rapidly accelerate your capabilities. For us and Trimble, not only by us working and interlocked capability, we had the Trimble developers working alongside our Encarta developers. We're all one team. They have the experience now, and so they have the ability to keep going and keep building.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think the biggest difference here is that the factory is ours. We own the factory. We built the factory alongside Encarta, our developers, a few of which were on the room and on the call. They now know how to publish new sites very quickly, very fast. It's our capability to own now and to continue to scale.
Absolutely. And I think that one of the biggest keys when we're talking about that is, when we're ramping up that quickly and we're scaling that factory, we need to have the right pieces and parts to know where are we going for that ultimate customer journey, but also how do they fit in together? How does it have a consistent brand message all the way through? Now, let's talk results.
I'll let Tyler say some words after me, but I have a microphone right now. Trimble achieved digital channel maintenance costs across all of their digital channels. They're now on a path to have a corporation-wide consistent brand presence. Marketers can be marketers. New marketing websites can now be created quickly and efficiently. Data collection volume has increased by a factor of 10. Customer data collected on the company website increased from 14,000 to 1.7 million year over year. That's a 121% increase. What else you got?
Yeah, we were able to, and those are all great stats, but we were also able to launch not only Trimble.com, but at least 8 other sites after this within the following year, and be able to do that with the same components, the reusability, all the things that we had set out to achieve. And we're also able to make changes on the fly. Just recently we switched our fonts out, and that being able to cascade through multiple sites was a breeze. It only took a smaller effort than we thought. Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest tells of this is not only did we, start the relationship and, bring a lot of that change through the organization alongside Trimble, but we also set up the system with them, train them, and let them own, because enterprises have that capability, and that's unique. So, Tyler, picking your brain for a second, what's next for Trimble?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think this has really been, building the platform was a huge learning curve, but then it set us up for success moving forward. And I think we've heard it several times today around building on those capabilities, those components to further scale it into more of a digital experience platform. So things like composable e-commerce, we're adding commerce tools to our stack. It's going easier and faster than I think management expected, because we were already set up from the mock principles. We're also taking those mock principles into development teams. My move over to the product team was an example of that, and how we went from marketing into product, and now we're taking some of those principles into the development teams there to continue that learning of fast, responsive front ends that are scalable and that are componentized, so that we can swap out our capabilities with best in class whenever we need to. So I think the whole organization is realizing that we weren't just crazy when we started out doing this, but that we were actually onto something. And it's good to be here, to not feel so crazy also, that we've got a good community and great partners.
If you are a dog person or a cat person, you're welcome to take a picture of my contact information. You won't, that's not a good joke because Kerrigan just screwed up the slide, but
I messed it up. I couldn't find
if
the
you'd
button.
like a copy of the deck, or you want to talk more about this case study, other work we're doing at Kin and Carta, I'd be glad to chat, be your therapist. I could put on a sweater vest like Kerrigan, or offer some insight about technology and mock.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you all.